I am Monica Nelson, and I'm part of Chris and Monica in the Morning on 98.7 The Peak. I've been with Bonneville for 17 years. A typical day, weekday anyway, starts at 3:30. My alarm goes off, and then the snooze button gets hit around 3:31. No, eventually I make it into the show, and then we do our thing. We, prep for it, take calls, do all that stuff. After the show, we typically have a couple meetings, and then I'll go and do some production work, finish up some papers, and oftentimes then have outside meetings with clients or lunches and this and that, and then head home, and I need to be home by 3 o'clock to pick up my little rugrats from school, so people don't think they've been left. My first job was on my parents' farm, a cornfield, where we had to pick rock for hours, like 8 to 10 hours. We'd just walk every row picking rock out because it would break the machinery. And just so you know, I was so young. My parents, nowadays, with today's standards, I'm sure they would be arrested for child labor laws. So I'm not going to count that one. Instead, let's go on to Hardee's. Remember Hardee's? Okay, so I worked at a fast food place. Would you like fries with that? And I learned a lot. My manager used to watch me through a mirror window and say, oh, you're doing a good job, but you need to treat strangers like you do your family and friends. Because when my family and friends would come in, I'd be all like, hey, you want a strawberry shake with that? Yeah, And then strangers would walk in and be like, I suppose you want fries? You'd like to biggie your order? So anyway, since then, I tried to be nice to strangers. My guilty pleasure starts with an N, ends with a P, and there's an ah in the middle. You get it? Nap. If you're from a different planet. Otherwise, it's a nap. I love to nap. It's my favorite thing. I'm a closet napper. Don't tell everybody. That I was born an introvert by far, and I didn't really speak above a whisper at school or in public until I was maybe like 6th grade, where I'd always talk like this. So yeah, so that's kind of weird. And if you go to a certain theme park throughout the United States, you will hear me say, please keep all your limbs inside the cart until the ride has come to a complete stop. Hopefully your possessions are in a safe place because we are not responsible. Hope you had a great day. That kind of stuff. When I think of Ford, I think American built to last, endurable. Growing up on a farm, my brothers only had Fords, right? And they still do. And you didn't know what you were going to get every day, whether you had to go into a field or if you were going to have to save a cow, having a calf. There were some crazy things that those Fords saw. And my first driving experience was in my dad's Ford LTD, which, I don't know, you're pretty young, so you may not know, but very long, very sleek, and very yellow, this particular one. So we called it the Banana Split, which was fantastic. And yeah, and then of course another first car out of college was a Taurus. I was probably born in a Ford. I mean, hospitals were few and far between on the farm.